intriguing ride that you have with this motorcycle is it has no competition. As of now in India, the ZX-6R is the only inline 4-cylinder Supersport motorcycle in the 600cc class. Very good morning guys. Today I have a legendary motorcycle, the Kawasaki Ninja ZX-6R. I'm calling it legendary because this belongs to a class which has almost gone into extinction. Back in the day we had the Yamaha R6, the CBR 600RR, the Suzuki GSX-R 600, the Triumph Daytona 675 and the old school Kawasaki ZX-6R. Most of these motorcycles are no longer under production, and as of now in India the ZX-6R is the only inline 4-cylinder Supersport motorcycle in the 600cc class to be available in the market. The Daytona 675 of course was there back in 2014 to 2016, after which the ZX-6R came in as a competition, but now there is no Daytona 675. The ZX-6R remains the only motorcycle from its class, so more or less it doesn't have any competition, you can say that. Before I get onto the motorcycle, I'll show you the design. So this is a 2024 variant and I really love it in this paint scheme, the grey, black, green color combo. I really like this over the newer 2025 green and white combo. It's got a very aggressive front end. Just look at its eyes, such a sharp design. Here's the ram air intake. Pardon me for my voice, I'm a bit sick. Been touring on this motorcycle. I've been riding this motorcycle for about 500 kilometers now from Rajahmundry in Andhra Pradesh. Stayed over in Nellore for the night and now heading back to Bangalore. Yep, so have a bit of cough and cold, have some body fatigue as well, but yes, that doesn't stop us from creating this content, because it's not every day that you get a motorcycle like this for a long ride. So it's got an all LED lighting, the headlamp, the tail light and the indicators are all LED. This motorcycle gets an arrow exhaust with a link pipe. It has a removable DB color as well. It's such a screamer in the higher revs. Let's show you the display. So here it's got a TFT display. There are 3 preset riding modes: Sport, Road, Rain and a rider configurable mode in which you can adjust various parameters and also switch off traction control if you wish to. A 17-liter fuel tank, fully adjustable Showa separate function forks, Showa on the rear as well, the monoshock. So let's get going. The riding posture is quite committed. It is a very compact motorcycle. So this 2024 ZX-6R has the same 636cc engine from its predecessor, but it's got some internal changes to meet the stringent emission norms, and also it's got a revised camshaft which improves the rideability of the motorcycle. You get a lot better initial and mid-range, which makes the motorcycle a lot more tractable. You've got power coming in the low and mid-range, which makes it a lot more engaging, a lot more fun to ride. Surely it's got lesser power on paper compared to its predecessor. It makes about 124 PS of power and 129 PS of power with the ram air intake at 13,000 RPM, 69 Nm of torque at 11,000 RPM. So it shows what the motorcycle is meant for. It's a high revving screamer. It's meant to be in that high rev. So under 6,000 RPM it is a bit calm, and beyond 6,000 RPM she starts screaming. I like the power delivery on this a lot more than the ZX-10R. The ZX-10R gets its power much higher in the rev range, whereas this one has got a lot of usable power, which makes it very engaging. You're able to utilize most of its power, unlike the later class motorcycles, especially the ZX-10R, which has all its power in the higher revs. So that makes it a much better road going Supersport motorcycle. But don't get me wrong, calling it a road motorcycle can be an understatement, because this is a rocket ship. The engine is butter smooth and the sound is so addictive, especially with this aero exhaust. It's so addictive. It makes you want to keep the motorcycle in those higher revs. After 6000 rpm, it just plunges forward like a predator trying to attack its prey. Also, it sort of blurs the vision of the scenery that's there ahead. Such an addictive engine, this one. The gearbox on this is pretty smooth. It gets a quick shifter but no auto blipper, which is a bummer. That's because this motorcycle does not get a ride-by-wire. It gets a mechanically operated cable, but then again the clutch is pretty light, which does not make you miss the auto blipper too much. But yes, in today's time where a lot of motorcycles have the auto blipper as standard, it would have been good to have the auto blipper on this as well. Also, the other electronics like the traction control works based on the rotation of the wheel sensors, the front and back. So it makes changes necessary based on that. There is no 6-axis IMU on this. Basically, it doesn't get the high-end electronic componentry which is there on the much larger later class bikes, but it has whatever is needed. Although it has a lot of good strong initial and mid-range, the top end on this, when you get close to that 13,000 rpm, you feel like it goes down on power. There is a lot of restriction close to that 14,000 rpm mark. You almost hit the rev limiter several times. The brakes are pretty good on this. The brakes are really good. These are Nissan brakes, the front and rear. And the ABS kicks in very smoothly. So this aluminium perimeter frame, the brakes, the riding geometry, the tires, the Pirelli Rossa 4, all this combination makes this motorcycle handle like a dream. It's so sharp. The suspension though are not very stiff like a few other track focused motorcycles. It's slightly better for the road, and of course it is adjustable based on your needs. The ergonomics are quite aggressive. So I'm a 6 feet tall guy, not the fittest to be honest. I do have quite a lot of pain around my thighs. So every time I take the thighs off the foot pegs and I bring it back, I do feel very cramped. And yeah, the ergonomics itself is quite aggressive. It's a very compact motorcycle, and the windscreen, the top windscreen is quite small too. So even in that tucked down position, I'm not really behind the windscreen. But yeah, at no point I felt unstable or anything of that sort. The bike feels pretty sturdy. So yep, the ergonomics is quite aggressive. I've been doing proper touring on this motorcycle. In fact, I've traveled about 550 kilometers now from Rajmundry. I've been traveling from Rajmundry in Andhra Pradesh, stayed for the night in Nellore after completing about 450 kilometers, and now heading to Bangalore, which was about 350 kilometers from Nellore. So yeah, quite a lot of touring I've been doing on this motorcycle, and yes, for sure I feel a lot of back pain and my legs are feeling very cramped. But then you can't really complain on that. This is a Supersport motorcycle. Times like these is when I miss my S1000XR, which has got such a relaxed riding posture and it's such a bliss for those long rides. Also, I'd like to show you how tractable this engine is. Now I'm on 6th gear. Let's see how low it can go on the 6th gear. I'm on 6th gear. Just look at this. I'm lefty hand. I left my right hand. It's going at 23 kilometers per hour and I slowly gave throttle. Look how tractable it is. This is magic. A rocket ship past that 10,000 RPM. Sound is so addictive. Fourth gear red lines at 198 kilometers per hour. So who should really buy this motorcycle? It is for those who want to live their Supersport dream, who have a lot of love for the Supersport motorcycles but do not want the liter class kind of performance, a lot more accessible power and also not too heavy on the pocket. This one is about 15 lakhs on road Bangalore, which is still a value for money. The motorcycle is pretty reliable. It's a Japanese engine, so it is pretty reliable. Hardly anything can go wrong with these bikes. Of course, it is a track weapon, but it is quite road friendly also because of the way it delivers its power for your weekend rides. Another bragging right that you have with this motorcycle is it has no competition. The closest competition to this is the Street Triple 765 RS, which is a naked motorcycle, but again it's a brilliant motorcycle on track too. But then if you want a proper 600cc Supersport inline 4-cylinder engine, this motorcycle actually has no competition. You've got the bragging rights. What are the flaws in this motorcycle? So if I really have to nitpick, the throttle response is not the best when you're in a corner and you just give a bit of a throttle. It has a slight lag before it gets going. I'm not sure why it is there. It was not there on the older ZX-6R, but this one has that slight lag, which is not so disturbing, but then yeah, it is there and you will have to get used to modulating the throttle, especially when you're on the track. And also it doesn't get the auto blipper, which in today's age is a bummer because a lot of motorcycles come with the auto blipper. And the electronic package on this is not too fancy. It has a modest electronic package which just does the job. Of course, it is a budget motorcycle. Yep, that's pretty much it. Otherwise, it's a very enjoyable bike to ride. So addictive the way it delivers its power, and yeah, it looks beautiful. Definitely when you get off the motorcycle and you look at it, you fall in love with it even more. You might want to take a good look at it before you get away from the motorcycle. definitely a beautiful looking motorcycle, a very versatile super sport motorcycle, this one. That's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video and hope this vlog was helpful. I've still got a lot of distance to cover. I'm gonna be super tired once I'm done with this ride. See you next time, guys. Until then, cheers.